Coincidentally, the ISO wrote a new transmission policy that year. And it said that the new mandate for the ISO is they are not able to consider alternatives to transmission. They have to turn a blind eye. And if you go to them today and say, well, why don't you consider, demand-side management in the Calgary area? They'd say, I'm sorry, that's not our mandate. Almost like a mantra. About 2006, the economics of these Northern Lights projects started to get very dubious. And you can see why. They're hugely expensive. The 500 kV line that was going to be pushed through regulation failed for the reasons we talked about earlier. Bill 19 was then invented. Well, Bill 19 is really great because if you ever have any trouble with landowners, you just take the land. That's not bad. You certainly have a nicer hearing. The same year, the environmental permit process for transmission was removed from the requirement process. And then Bill 50 came along, $8 billion of listed projects. And just in case we're not sure we can justify it, we'll take the regulator away. Then, ENMAX opened its big mouth. And the Iron Group came back and sued the Minister of Energy. Do you know why? Because it said ENMAX is building a power plant that will hurt our economics. And they have an unfair advantage. I've been all over our building. I cannot find an unfair advantage. And so has an independent assessor 6 different times. When we built the Tabor Wind Farm, they found no unfair advantage. When we bought CEC, no unfair advantage. When we bought Kettle Hills, no unfair advantage, and so on and so on. This is about stopping us from building the project that makes the transmission not needed. So really what happened is cheaper, greener energy got in the way. The dream of this superhighway from Fort McMurray to Las Vegas on the backs of Albertans got ruined by the fact that we came up with some innovation. We take the waste heat and we ship it to a building that's under construction on 9th Avenue and we sell it to buildings, creating a whole new world. Because East Village is coming and it's going to need heat and we're going to be there. When you add it all up, you got the Balzac plant at 300 megawatts, you got the Crossfield plant, you've got the downtown plant I just spoke of, and you got the 800 megawatt plant in a brand new industrial park in East Calgary, and all of that juice equals the demand for the city. We can supply the whole city with these 4 assets. Now tell me, talk about transmission. When you go to the ISO and you say, hey, look at this, they go, I'm sorry, it's not our mandate. So someone said to me the other day, well, you got to buy transmission lines, you got to buy power plants, somebody's got to pay for it. Well, who pays for these plants are people that sign up for EasyMax. We don't get a right to download this cost on consumers. What we do is we try to encourage you to sign up to a product so that when we get the money from you, we can build the power plant. And we sell this all over Alberta. We sell in Fort McMurray, we sell in Grand Prairie, sell in Edmonton, selling in Edmonton like crazy right now, in fact. And it's cheap. It's 8 cents versus our competitors at 9.9 and 11.99. How can these plants be cheaper than coal? Alberta was built on cheap coal. Well, I got news for you. The coal was never cheap. It was only cheaper than hydro at the time. And we didn't price mercury. And we didn't price CO2. And we didn't price the transmission in that definition of cheap. There is no such thing as cheap coal. If I took the Keep Hills 1 plant that was built in the late 70s, early 80s, and brought it to modern day cost through escalation of dollars, it's the same price as Keep Hills 3 is. There never was cheap coal. You can only build a boiler in so many ways. Just to put it another way, this is what I call a price signature. Price signature is, what is the price needed to give you a full return on the asset? Well, the price signature for Bonnybrook is we can take 0 at night because we can shut it off, save the fuel, or we can run it if the price is attractive. But the price signature goes 0 up to about 100 or 10 cents. $100 a megawatt hour is equal to 10 cents. And that'll give us a good return on that asset. The price signature of Keep Hills 3, the brand new coal plant, is about 30 to 40 at night and 150 during the day. It's way more capital intensive. You need more money to pay for all that capital. The price signature, if you add carbon sequestration, is 21 cents a kilowatt hour during the day. Guess what, folks? That's more expensive than solar power. That should tell us something economically. We just put $2 billion into carbon sequestration. Where's the $2 billion for solar power? This is more expensive. It uses 2 times the energy. It produces 3 times the CO2. It uses 5 times the water. It makes mercury 1,000,000 times more than the gas plant because the gas plant doesn't have any. And it's 2.5 to 3 times the capital. Why are we building a provincial energy strategy around coal? It makes no sense.